Yay. Yay. All right. We're live SEO this week. I'm the SIA. Thank you all for joining me. Post Super Bowl Chiefs. That was an awesome game yesterday. Actually, I rather enjoyed that entire game. I couldn't honestly find any flaws with the game whatsoever. I think it was officiated well, played well, score was close, lived up to the hype that everyone was anticipating. All in all, I had a good time watching that. Commercials, though, which, the marketing side of me looks at the commercials and what are people's approaches, all that kind of stuff. And those commercials were, I wasn't really happy with them. Like the movie trailers in the beginning of the Super Bowl, those were awesome. And then the Pepsi commercials with the actors thing, that was pretty cool. And I liked how they, instead of, I guess, piqued your interest in wanting to go try that new drink, right? But at the end of the day, it wasn't like in your face, go try this. So I thought that was pretty nice. The commercial for the Super Bowl that I kind of liked more than all of them was that there's a commercial for Jesus, and I've seen a lot of those, especially on Fox News or Fox in general, is this commercial for Jesus. But this one was actually interesting and really thought-provoking for anyone, right? And it was all straight imagery, people just yelling and screaming at each other and etc. And it's a real good synopsis of not only real life, but probably even social media and how people are engaging with each other. So I thought that message was pretty cool. And then other than that, I mean, I wasn't impressed this year with the commercials. All right, hold on. I didn't want to cough into the microphone. That'd be a dick move. So questions are rolling in. That's awesome. Thomas, notification squad. Cool. Hopefully a notification thing worked. Jerry, welcome. Let's see, Jerry, how do you feel about more and more people having diagnosed with mouse mind across America every day? I think it's scary. Mouse mind. I don't even know what that is. My mouse is too small. What is mouse mind, Jerry? Let's Google mouse mind. Mouse mind. Doesn't say. It's not even on the, what is that? Scientists put brain tissue in a mouse mind. Scientists put brain tissue in a mouse mind and respond to stimuli. Oh, that's interesting. And on Twitch, Mouse Mind, Secrets of the Pharaoh Clips. That's it. That's all I got for Mouse Mind. You're gonna have to help me out there, Jerry. All right, Eric. Could you use the URL inspection tool in Search Console for testing changes made on a page? Or does Google just use it for indexing? You can use it for testing changes on the page, and so much to see if Google's getting them. Or getting your cache version by putting it in and then looking at the live view, and then there'll be a option there to see the code. You can take a look at that. Sometimes that tool though is funky, so you'll know your page is working fine, and then the inspection tool will show you like as if your page is not displaying correctly. So you have to take that inspection tool with a grain of salt in that regards. Um, it used to be where you could submit to that thing and then submit to indexing, and then within 24 hours see a change and see your on page change reflected. And sometimes it was even faster. But I think that's those days are gone for the most part. Those days are gone for the most part. But I mean, some domains you can still, pop that off. But for the most part, I've seen you're actually waiting, 24, 48 hours to see any reflection up and down. And in some cases, I mean, it could take a week or two before you'll see any movement. So I have been leaving both. When I make on page change, I don't do any more like little things. I'll do a set of things and then wait and see what happens, and wait it out for a week or two. Same with link building. I'll wait that out for 3 weeks. Just make sure that it's going up or down or staying steady. And then I'll decide what I want to do from that point on. And I mean, unfortunately, that's just kind of what we're dealing with nowadays in regards to search results and pushing that through. But I mean, that is what it is. Alex, I think it was Alex. He gave us a test result or a test suggestion last week, and one of the viewers, Sean Brewer, he hit me up on Skype, and he found a plugin called Text Spinner. Text Spinner. I can open it and show you. There we go. There you go. Text Spinner, and it supposedly rotates your anchor text for you. He did note, however, that if your page caches, it'll will stick, which is kind of not what we need, right? Unless it's rotating per cache. So if it creates a cache and it picks one and then regenerates a cache, and because it's regenerating the page, it'll spin the anchor text to something new and then cache the page for 24 hours, et cetera, et cetera. Rinse, repeat. Then that necessarily won't be a bad thing. I don't know how that will work out, but supposedly it's got some caching functions. The downside is it hasn't been tested, and it's last updated 4 years ago. But that's not to say that you couldn't download it, update the code a little bit, make sure there's nothing going on with it, and use it in that regard, or use that script that we made. Remember, I used ChatGPT and gave us a script to try out. So I'm thinking about doing that too, and see if one or the other works, and then two, we have the question about, is rotating the anchor, spinning the anchor is going to even work? So that'd be another thing. Let's see. And he says he dropped a quick email on the back of my link spinning question to the email address on your channel. It probably is, Alex, but to be 100% open, I usually delete a lot of emails. Because I get so much junk that might get caught up in that. Not to say that you would send me junk, but I just didn't see it. And I just went through all my emails the other day and deleted a lot of stuff. So I'll go back in there and see if there's something that I accidentally deleted from you, Alex. But I don't specifically see anything with your name on it. Unless you're Alex from Article Forge. Let's see. Scrolling. No. Austin. Still looking. No. 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 No, I didn't see it, Alex. Be quite honest. I mean, emails. It's rough, right? So I don't even like using emails for clients. I put them in the Slack. Um, so if you really need to get hold of me and ask a question or something like that, hit me up on Skype. I mean, I have that thing on every day, and I am generally decent about responding on Skype. All right, let's see. I got a question in the Zoom. Have you noticed core volatility tool when searching in the US with no city state modifiers is searching in different cities and states across the US? Nope. I've not noticed that. And I mean, it could potentially be happening. It's using the SERP API, but I haven't personally noticed that it's doing that. It could be your keyword selection and just giving you some variety. Or it could be proxy rotations on Ted's side. I mean, there's no clue what he's doing in the back end of that anymore. But proxy rotations could certainly explain that if you're seeing that, and he's rotating proxies on each query through the search API. Doesn't make sense to me that he would do that though, because he's going through a service, and it seems like if you're going through a service, not directly through Google, then ergo, you wouldn't necessarily need to switch proxy locations. And if that is what's going on, and he's targeting through different proxies and then it's skewing your results, kind of negates the value of that tool, I think, especially for national searches. So definitely something to talk to Ted about for sure if you're seeing that. What else? What else are we doing? No updates, no news in the SEO space, no new news. Oh, I'm out of it. You guys don't have any more questions, I'm out. What the hell is this? What is going on? Some random shit open up in my sticky. Let's see. Yeah, Ron says that's happening in the volatility tool and skewing his results. SIP. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely take those results to Ted. Again, if it's rotating proxies and then running different searches, rotating the proxies, it could be creating localization where you don't necessarily want it. However, it's still not, it's still volatility, because it just, I mean, you look at a couple of perspectives. One, you don't want it to do it. You want to look in there and go, oh, I'm getting the same results on my computer when I search, and I see these bouncing around, and that's okay. On the other flip side of that, if you're looking at a national term, that may be some great insight to look at it from, say, do a search from Seattle and Los Angeles and Dallas and Miami and New York City, and then look at the volatility between that, and could be an indication that you're just not locked in. So two ways to look at that perspective and looking at the idea of skewing. But if you're doing a local page, Dallas or candlestick patterns or Greek restaurants in Miami, then you kind of want that to be on point for everything. So, I mean, you got to define skewing your results to Ted and what you're looking for and what you're trying to do. And there's probably a logical answer why you're getting the results that you're getting. Saqlain, how you doing? Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Saqlain, Saqlain. Saqlain. What is the future of affiliate sites and SEO? SEO is going to be fine. No, I mean, I've been in SEO actively since 2009, and SEO has been dead every year. That's just some bullshit that content people want to make, and every new change and everything, they all crying about SEO is dead. Boo hoo hoo. Well, typically, most of those people are the ones that are doing crap anyway. So I think SEO is just fine. And in regards to affiliate sites, also fine. I think your content generation and stuff, you just have to get a little bit more well thought out. You have to write in the first person, not in the third person now. I think that would be a good thing to do. Using videos as well, maybe some audio in there too inside of your reviews, and just kind of and stay more on point. If you're going to be in a market like mattresses, for example, talk about anything and everything mattresses, and don't get around there and get lost in the so you can buy these sheets, you can buy these pillows. I mean, they're related to mattresses, sure, but if you're trying to churn and burn mattresses via affiliate sales for one of any of the programs, you probably just stick to mattresses. And again, the page experience stuff, the goal for them is to have people who are actually doing real reviews, like you bought it, you laid in it, you slept in it, and this is what you think about it. I mean, that's in the perfect world, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, affiliates, they're going to make money. They got to represent a whole bunch of products on their websites, and they're not going to just go out and buy all these things, and then manufacturers are not going to go out and send you all these things so you can do real reviews on them and rank for them and sell them for them. That would be awesome if they did, but I mean, you could live off of that, but at the end of the day, that's not going to happen. So follow the guidelines of what they're looking for, and mainly it's going to be writing in the first person, doing your schema, and building backlinks. You're going to be fine. Aaron, loving the overalls. Thank you, sir. I like them too. They're just so easy. And the palm trees out here, these fucking needles. There's the leaves are needles, and then there's needles, like literally needles like this long on them. And overalls just kind of keep me from ended up looking like this. I don't know if you can see that. It was just a couple hours work outside, just clawed me all up. So shut up. Any affiliate sites working for you right now? I mean, yeah. Am I going to show them to you? No. Let's see. Any quick wins for ranking city pages, map embeds? I do templates. So your on-page stuff is at the end of the day is gonna do it. And you have you have city pages. So I'm assuming one site, multiple pages, multiple cities. If you did like the old school guys, they created this content and they do some spinning in it and then try to rank it for each page. However, when you spin, you lose some of the on-page optimization stuff. So if you're doing a phrase or a clear scope or a combination of those, you're doing all the edits and editing, and you're adding entities and all that, and for your primary keyword, and then you do the spinner, and your spinner rips all that stuff out. So I use the same. I create one template and then just change the city locations and stuff like that enough to make the content unique. Depending on how unique you want it, you can change every 13th word, and that kind of suffices for Google. Yeah, we tested that, and believe me, that was tedious. But for the most part, I just add a city reference to each paragraph. at least one, maybe more than that, and then send them on their way. And if you do that, you're gonna have some decent luck. Check out the content optimization video I did quite some time back, and this is essentially the basis of how I build those templates. Terry Power. I'll read that one later. Let's see. SEO autopilot question. Would you recommend creating new Web 2.0s to use for the tier 2s to guest posts? Or you just reuse them? You are going to save money on CAPTCHA if you're using something like 2CAPTCHA by reusing those Web 2s. Also, if you should be building links to your tier 2s to make them actually worthwhile to you. And if you keep them existing, you add new pages like a normal website and build links and increase power. Ergo, they gets kind of stack up and improve stuff. So I would use the same ones, but you will find that software will go in and if something's burnt down or something, it'll make new ones for you to replace. So that's how I go about it. Let's see, Casper. Assuming there's some other part of that question, Casper, but I was thinking local business schema with area served or GeoShape, however, is not a physical business, only online. Any ideas how to target those? That's a problem. It's not really a problem. You can do local business schema with areas served. Area served or GeoShape doesn't necessarily. You can use GeoShape actually under area served, so in the hierarchy. So it's not necessarily either or. In that case, Casper, you look at schema.org and kind of see the different options for you. You can go to Chat GBT. Actually, I can demonstrate this. There you go. Share. And I hate that stupid bar. Chat. And let's see. Create an area served schema using schema.org. That includes a GeoShape of the boundary of the city of Sedona, Arizona. Oh, stop doing that. Gotta be specific. Written in JSON LD. I was getting there. Oh, come on. What I was getting to do is microdata. There we go. There we go. Much gooder. So you see areas out, and then the GeoShape, then the midpoint. You light longs the city, and then there's the polygon for the border of the city. I'm using the paid version, however, so bear in mind, I don't know if mine times out. I haven't tried it yet, right? But if you're on the free version, this is going to stop at some point for you because the points around the city are a lot in a lot of cases, especially for bigger cities. So you can actually kind of give it like some more guidance, like only write the top 10 points, the top corners, top or significant points, not every bend, etc. So you can see this is still writing. It's going to give me every bend. But this is what I mean. Here's local business, the name, the area served, the midpoint, where you're starting at, and then the polygon forms that geo shape. And that's how you leverage that, Casper. And you could do that with a online business only. As long as you have a supporting web page, you're going to be fine. But I don't know that I would. Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, that's not true. If you have a map associated with it, it would be better. Waiting to see if this is done yet. Yeah, it's time out. Watch this. Then you go. Is that complete? No. Yeah, let's see. But you can mess with that prompt and get this a little bit better so it's not all crazy like that. That's what I suggest you guys do. Terry, you want me to read this question on the show or wait?
Yeah, you can. There's no real details in there.
Okay. Got a new client, B2B in the financial tech niche. They use WordPress, but not allow me to access the back to security reasons. I can see the code. They will institute my suggestions, giving these anything you can warn me to look out for. Oh. Taking that client, look out for that. I don't like dealing with clients like that. Either they trust me enough to do it or they don't, right? The downside of that is maybe they do have user information in there, credit card information and all that. So on that side, I can see it. So I typically go for the compromise for them and get a tag manager code added, and then you can do all your SEO stuff with tag manager. Or like a cloud workers, if you're good with that, Cloudflare cloud workers, that kind of thing. But that's kind of how I would approach that. You're going to be limited to your on-page stuff though, because you have to go through them and their coders are going to be like, nah, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. And then you're going to have to play that game. But just document that, I've sent these suggestions. They have or have not been implemented, and here's the response back if they have not, that kind of stuff. And then focus primarily on link building, which is probably in that niche going to be what you're going to need to do anyway. You're going to need to do a lot of it.
Yeah.
So
the president and one of the VPs both are fully behind, as they said, almost anything I want to do. But they do have in their system all sorts of credit kind of information with some major companies they work with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so they're not, it's their policy, and they're not allowed to let just anybody alter their WordPress stuff.
Well, especially in that niche, right? Because let's say they do get hacked.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's a big deal. And then too, yeah, if they they do get hacked, they're just going to go blame third-party people anyway. It's easier that way. It wasn't us. It was our SEO company. They put this plugin on here. They're the evil people, you know? So you got to deal with that too. I mean, if you develop the franchises guys that I do, I have a great relationship with the dev team. So I don't get questions. I'm just like, hey, I want you to do this, and they'll go implement it. Right. If it doesn't work, or they'll figure out a way for it to work in their current system. So if you are able to establish that kind of relationship with the dev team, it's not going to be any issue. It might slow you down in regards to implementation, but I mean, they've already clearly expressed, hey, we don't give just anyone access, but you can do whatever you want. They're just kind of taking on the whole, it's going to take a little bit longer. I mean, right? So you give them, here, I want you to update the title text, for instance. You give that to them and it takes them 2 weeks to implement it. Well, guess what? 2 weeks, you can do something else. Like, waiting for them to do that stuff. So,
yeah.
You guys are all quiet this week.
How about that Super Bowl? Great game.
Oh man, that was an awesome game.
I didn't have a dog in the fight. I didn't really care who won, but glad to see a good game.
Yeah. It was, honestly, I think it was one of the best games in quite some time. And you know how they overhype a lot of games, one, to get all people watching, et cetera, which makes sense. But two, it's, this expectation that the game is going to be great. And I think the two teams they're definitely the top of their game. If you look at all their stats, they're almost identical in every way, right? And that made that game so much more interesting. People are bitching about that holding call, but I don't even think that was a factor. I mean, it got him 10 yards in the first down. But I think the way that the Chiefs were playing, they could have got that first down. Even if they didn't get that call, they would have got the first down eventually. Did the same thing that they did.
And if they didn't, they still got the field goal. It just, Philadelphia might have only had 3 plays instead of 1 or something. But
yeah,
and the defensive back said after the game in an interview, yeah, I grabbed his jersey. I was hoping nobody would call it. It wasn't real bad, but
yeah,
I mean, he grabbed his jersey because they probably do that every play and hope, they're probably not going to throw it to this guy anyway, so I won't have to worry about them looking at it. But
yeah. I mean, the announcer was crying about it right off the bat, and I kind of see his point of view, and he was even all kind of booty hurt because the Chiefs did what they did instead of scoring a game and giving the Philadelphia a chance to come back. But you're a head coach and you want to win the Super Bowl. Guess what you don't do? You don't score early and give them time to come back. That's just dumb. So I think they did. That game turned out exactly like it.
Terry asked me, how come he fell down? And I said, he didn't want to score just yet and give Philadelphia too much time.
Yeah.
Now, if they fumble on the next play, he's going to regret that decision. But, he's planning on them not having a turnover before they get a chance to score.
Yeah. I think the only thing that could have went wrong is if the kicker missed it, and that would have been awesome.
Especially given everybody slipping around on the painted ground, that would have been screwed up too.
Yeah, but that would have been classic. I think that game would have went into overtime for sure if that had happened.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, good game. So.
Let's see. What else we got here? Check on the YouTubes. If you guys, as a Philly fan, it was BS. Poor Skyler. I was going with the Chiefs all the way. I figured they were going to do it, but I mean, Philly's been playing their asses off. Jalen Hurts did a great job. But the Chiefs won. Chiefs win. Chiefs win.
Well, and Jalen's probably kicking himself because if he hadn't just lost control of that ball when he was running, that intercept or that fumble ran in for a 6.
Yeah.
That was nobody hitting him. He just went, and dropped it.
Right. And didn't they score in the next possession, right? So they get Kansas City got that touchdown, and then Jalen came back and they went and got another touchdown. I think that if that fumble hadn't happened, it'd probably have been the Phillies game because they were just running they were doing tit for tat scoring, but there was no one getting ahead. And that one touchdown was the difference between them staying ahead of Kansas City or just keeping it like they did.
Yeah, because they were keeping it even. And then Philadelphia was scoring. Kansas City was just trying to catch up. And then eventually, at that point, Philadelphia had to catch up.
Yeah.
It
definitely changed momentum.
Who gets the advantage in the tie, kind of thing. So,
yeah. Let's see. Now they're giving questions. Now we're talking football. All of a sudden, they want to do SEO stuff. Let's see, Aaron. How do you determine if you should be building more tier 1s or if you should be boarding more links to your tier 1s? At some point, building more tier 1s would be overkill, but having a hard time. Who says more tier 1s is overkill? I mean, I've never heard of that. Oh, I have too many tier 1 backlinks. I need to stop building backlinks.
I mean, are you ranking above 1? You're just getting too much ranking power?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. So you always have a plan for tier 1s. That's where, if you're thinking about it from a client SEO perspective, this is an agency hat. If I'm maintaining a client, let's say you talk about here, all these people are doing clients. I've had clients for 2 to 3 years. And it's not unheard of. Typically, what you end up doing for those clients is building more tier 1s and keeping them ahead of the Joneses. And that's a continuous thing that you always do because you never know when someone's going to hire an SEO and come knock that person out. It's also the argument of why you want to have a recurring plan for people, and they're like, oh, you already got me to page 1, so why should I keep paying for you? Well, because I got you to page 1, and if you stop paying, then someone's going to come find me or someone like me, and they're going to outrank you, and then you're going to lose all this momentum. So yeah, you should always be building tier 1s. Your tier 1s that you invest a lot of time, money, and energy into getting, you should always be building tiers to those two. You're building links to those two. In that process, if you have that system in place, you'll be able to stay on top of that all the time, be able to justify a recurring or justify your own personal recurring SEO program. Like your VA is keeping them busy and all that stuff. You can do all that with tiers while you're thinking up new approaches to get into content and generate new traffic. Let's see. What should I follow for success affiliate cluster silos? Content velocity. What? Follow the affiliate niche site. Ooh, that's should I follow for success affiliate sites cluster silo links content velocity? You're gonna have to rephrase that, Cycling. There's like 3 or 4 questions here. I'm not sure entirely what you're asking. But what should I follow for success cluster affiliates? I mean,
I think just which camp should they be following? One that calls them clusters, one that says silos. It's just my guess.
I don't know. The one that works for you. Content velocity is just the pace of publishing. I'm not a content marketer guy. Like I tell my clients, 4 articles is enough because I can't build articles to 300. I can't build backlinks and promote 300 articles, but I can do 4. and increase your traffic, right? So the same as with affiliate sites. You want to, in the beginning, you'll push out probably, I mean, depending on the market, 20, 30, 40 posts to see where stuff lands, and then you'll work on 3 or 4 of those a week. So, and if you're in a market like mattresses, for example, you can knock those out pretty quick and push them through. There's no content velocity. You just knock them out, keep going with them. And then so the silo stuff for affiliates kind of comes in on the other end of that. You want to generate traffic to a mattress affiliate website, and then you start creating content about how to pick the best mattress, where to find, what are the best materials, and all that crap. I mean, that's where all that silo stuff comes in, and then you start linking from your content silo to your affiliate pages when you're recommending specific mattresses for specific things. So there is no what is the best way and just do this one thing anymore. You gotta combine the thinking on both of those approaches, and then do the one that's going to work for you that you can scale. I mean, everyone's got AI now, so content really is not an issue. The generation of it isn't the issue. It's the optimization, promotion, and planning, where the SEO is going to stand out. And frankly, if you get advice from anybody who's not telling you to actually, think about the optimization of content, the promotion of that content, and the planning of the editorial calendar in a way that's going to generate traffic for you, then you can just tell them to fuck off. Is kind of the best way to say that, because I mean, if you does you absolutely no good to pay for or create 300, 400, 500 articles and put them on your website and not have a link building plan, because Google is, one, it's smart. And if you're putting that much content on there, you're not building links, and then Google sees all that content on there and it doesn't have any links. And more than likely, your interlinking is probably going to be shit anyway, because throwing up that much content, some or a lot of those posts are going to end up orphaned. So you don't link to you. Google doesn't see anyone else linking to you, and your content has no promotion, no love, and you probably didn't optimize it after you spit it out from your fancy AI content generation tool. So you have those 3 strikes, and then the next thing you know, you're an SEO signals lab crying why your content doesn't index. And I just told you the 3 reasons why. You didn't optimize it, you didn't promote it internally, and you didn't get any backlinks, i.e. promotion externally. That was a nice rant. That was a good rant, Terry. What do you think? Good rant?
Yeah, but you're kind of stuck on mattresses for some reason, but no,
that's because I have my hopes and dreams websites as a mattress domain, and it just renewed. I was like, what is that domain? I remember that domain. Yeah,
I remember I bought that one. I was going to do something with it.
Yep. Yeah, that's funny. Leon Lesk. How do you say his name? Lesak. Lezak. What's up, Leon? Any other questions? Come on, guys. I'm here for till 11. You got 15 more minutes, or until I get bored. Let's see. What else are we doing?
Should we join the Slack channel? I have, but
Oh, the Discord. Yeah, we moved the Discord for SIA. That's a good one. I can drop that link while we're here. Thanks for reminding me, sir. Let's see. Invite people.
And for anybody watching, if you're in there, you can actually jump on, turn on your microphone and talk to someone else. Brian Cato and I had a conversation last week. The day we both had joined, we were playing around, and so we sat there and talked for, I don't know, maybe half an hour, throwing some stuff around, some AI ideas and stuff like that. But
yeah, you're getting ready to talk for IMG's little free conference thingy. I saw that.
Yeah, on AI, uses for AI, and whether it's the end of the world or the beginning of a whole new brilliant, beautiful place or what. So
I signed up. Don't want to. I figure I get some decent ideas out of it, if anything, for some testing. But for the most part, because I'm really active in monitoring Twitter SEO, you know, that hashtag, and seeing what all those people are all saying, and it was interesting watching the cycle when ChatGPT was launched, to Bing launching or announcing they're going to launch, to Google Bard, and you can watch the flaming hot mess that those people just regurgitate. It's pure crap, right? There's absolutely no thought put into what they're saying. It's like, Bing came out with, or ChatGPT came out and was the first thing. Well, Google's is better. It's awesome. And then Bing was like, oh, we're going to do this. And the next, what did you hear? Google's going to be better. This is awesome. Then Google comes out, and even during their demonstration, they couldn't get their damn AI to answer the right question. And now all of a sudden it's crickets. And then they're like, oh, Google should have done this. And now they're pretending like they're anti-Google advocates because Bing is citing the sources in their AI now. So if they get someone asks a question and the AI gets that answer off of Terry Power's website, it cites where it got the answer from. And sends, and it's a link. It's like a super featured snippet. I think that's the best implementation that anyone could ask for in regards to that in the search results. Google's not doing that, but Bing is. And so now they're jumping on the bandwagon, and everyone's saying, oh, look, they're not citing the sources. It's horrible. It's redonkulous. I swear to God, none of them actually use a brain before they start tweeting stuff out, and they just jump to that first conclusion, and then they forget what they said and pretend like everyone else is going to forget what they said too. It's just
yeah, these are the same
baffling.
people that 6 months ago were saying, you shouldn't be trying to write anything with AI. That's Google won't allow it.
Google won't rank it. Never mind that Jasper's and all these other tools have been facilitating AI content for what, a year or two now? And guess what? They're all ranked.
Jasper and Phrase, and
it's ridiculous. Let's see. On wrong. Man, I got to get better at pronouncing some of these names. What to put in aggregate ratings or reviews in product schema if there are no reviews available for the product? The white hat answer is don't use the aggregate ratings if you have no reviews. However, Google used to have a review that you could use aggregate rating called critic review, and they stopped using it and forced you to use product review schema. So, and then product review schema only accepts aggregate rating to get the stars to show. So if you are the reviewer and you're getting the product review schema the way Google wants it to, put the aggregate rating in there, put a 5, and then add there's a section in schema where it's called the review, and then this is the person that left it, and here's their URL, etc. That's just you. So you put your name in there, you'll put your little excerpt, I would just say summary of what you said in the main review in there, and then you should be good. Just keep in mind that just because you have it there doesn't necessarily get you the review stars, but that's how you kind of get around that whole thing. I think it was dumb for Google to remove the critic review. And that would be it's a great differentiator for businesses that are actually selling the product and affiliates and that kind of stuff. And they would have been able to keep a whole lot of things cleaner in regards to the product review update. But for whatever reason, they just wanted everyone to use the product review button. So do it.
Good general rule. If there aren't any reviews, leave one. I mean, if there aren't any reviews, leave one, because if just one is the only one, that's your aggregate rating.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess really, if you're in the e-com thing, yeah, it's weird that they would force you. I haven't seen that they forced you to add product review schema.
No, I can't. I don't know how or why they would force you to add it if it's not.
Yeah, if you don't have one, but I'm not saying that they can't. Let's go product review
Mattresses. Oh,
schema. Add product structure data. I'm going to copy this. It's product reviews, product page with an offer. He said product schema, so I'm going to assume that he's got an e-com store. So we're going to do this. Code. This got the aggregate rating in there. So we'll see how this tests first. Reviews, product snippet. Okay, merchant settings and the review snippets. That's this right here. So we're going to delete this. Then we'll run it. That validated fine. So you have this, the reviews, because you don't have any reviews, right? So we'll delete that. That validated fine. Well, here's this non-critical issue. Missing reviewed aggregate rating, which is optional. So if you don't have it, you can leave blank. If that was red, it was the warning, then yeah, you got to address it. But this is optional, so you don't need it. But let's say you want to do it because you don't want to have any optionals. You just let's go to Control V. So you got this, and then you put your name in here, and then if you only have one, you can just do what? And you can actually have to look at this again, but you can put like a little summary of the review in here as well and run the test. That's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. So I'm gonna go here, do here, review, see the examples. There's a review. See, review body. Just put your summary in there, just like that. And there is a section for URL. You can add that too if you want to. I did if I'm referring to Google GMB reviews. There's a GMB URL to the review. You can drop that in there. If you want to, not necessarily, you see you're not required to, but it's an option. And the reviews things will come up and you're still eligible for those stars, even though you only have one review. hopefully that helps that. Yeah. Yeah, just saw it's again, it's because it's not a in the search console. Search console looks for any of these. So this non-critical errors, search console will call it an error, but it's not an error. It's just two tools that are not looking at the right thing. If it's a non-critical issue here, search console will still say it's an error in your schema. So I mean, depending on what you're doing with it, if it's your own site, non-critical issue, you know it, you don't care, then just ignore it in search console. If it's a client site and they're getting messages that your schema is jacked up, just change that, add that review part in there, and you'll be fine. And if you're worried about manual stuff, when you do that, when you add this part in the review body, go to your content and find a line that's in your thing. Like, this is the best mattress on the planet. Copy that line and put it right in there. And then if you want to get really slick, you add the URL, right? And then you just go click to highlight. And what you're going to get is a short code from your browser with the hashtag and then a link to that line. And then you put that URL in there. So if someone comes in there and goes, "Oh, your reviews aren't in there," you can counter that by going, "Yeah, my review is in there. Here's exactly where it is. I've given you exactly where it is in the content." So F off. Make sense? And I wasn't highlighting the screen, but hopefully you guys figure that out. If you need some more help, let me know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an hour. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you. If you like the show, thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. But more importantly, share the link to the YouTube with your friends. Just so kind of build on the momentum and get some more people watching. More people we have, more questions that are asked, better value that everyone gets, I think. So I will see you all next week.